who is giving us an update regarding the Oscar Pistorius case. And of course, he will know his fate on Tuesday. And of course, closing arguments have been concluded in the mitigation of sentence at the North Gauteng High Court. And the state has called for a 10-year jail sentence for the athlete. And the defense, however, believes Pistorius should be given correctional supervision. Pistorius was found guilty of culpable homicide for shooting and killing his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, on Valentine's Day last year. And of course, Patricia is standing by. And of course, she is about to give us a wrap of what's happening now. Patricia, over to you.
Well, good afternoon. Let's just start, with where the Paralympian has been sitting for the duration of this trial. And it is exactly here where the Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has been sitting for the 48 days of his court proceedings. And it is here where he sat today, listening to the state prosecutor, Advocate Gerrinel, trying to convince Judge Thokozile Masipa that it would be fair to send the Paralympian to jail for a minimum 10 years. And it is exactly here where he will be sitting on Tuesday when he learns his fate. But as usual, I am joined by a legal expert who will help us, unpack today's court proceedings in the final arguments of the pre-sentencing proceedings. I am joined by Tiaan Uber, who will help us delve more into these final arguments. Tiaan, welcome and good afternoon to you.
Hello, Patricia.
Well, of course, we heard Advocate Gerrinel very convincingly telling Judge Thokozile Masipa that Oscar Pistorius needs to at least spend 10 years in jail. Are you convinced with the arguments that he has brought forward?
Well, it's clear the state only has one option, that is jail time. I'm unsure whether the court will grant his wish at the end of the day for 10 years. The court has to take in consideration previous convictions similar courts had made in similar matters. And I don't think 10 years jail time will be given in this instance.
And of course, we heard Oscar Pistorius' defense advocate, Barry Roo, trying to tell the court that actually he believes that the Paralympian should be subjected to a program of restorative justice through correctional supervision. Are you convinced with the arguments that he brought forward supporting that argument?
Well, of course, the defense will try to get a much lenient sentence as possible. And the defense has used more precedent cases than the prosecution did, surprisingly. And I think using precedent cases, the defense made out a better case for a custodial sentence, for not granting a custodial sentence, but correctional supervision.
But Advocate Gerrinel hit back. He told the court that mercy is undeserved. You don't claim it.
Well, I'm not sure of how he came to that. He clearly he mentioned in aggravating factors again that this is an instance which the facts were close to murder and not necessarily culpable homicide. So I think he's bracing himself for the appeal, which might probably be coming.
Right. Now, what about his argument that the degree of culpable homicide in this matter, or rather, the degree of negligence for the conviction of culpable homicide needs to be taken into a serious consideration?
As I said, he mentioned murder again. So that's what he's got in his mind. In his mind, although the court has given us a judgment that it's culpable homicide, he's leaning more towards murder, and he's going for grossly negligent, and he's going for the maximum. That's why he didn't even really touch on correctional services, correctional supervision. He was focusing on jail time.
So basically, he was preparing us for the next step should the state decide to appeal, as you have already indicated.
That is my opinion.
Now let's talk about similar matters that have been concluded in courts such as these. What were the sentences that were handed down under the category of culpable homicide, of course?
The cases that the defence brought up were also where firearm was used, someone was shot. There was also negligence, and in the cases that the prosecution, the defence used, was 8 years suspended sentence, suspended for the whole. Surprisingly, the court, neither the defence nor the state mentioned the case of Jup Marokani, where 8 years effective jail time was given, as well as the matter of Jacob Humphreys in the Western Cape, where 8 years were also given. But the 8 years effective jail time would neither suit the defence, who wants correctional supervision, as well as the state, who wants the maximum jail time.
All right, but he did touch on a previous case, the famous case of Vleis Versace, who shot dead his daughter.
That is correct. In that matter, Mr. Versace was not even prosecuted. From the go, he came out and he apologized for what he did. He was sorry. He came out with the whole story. He showed remorse from the start and accepted responsibility for what he did. I'm not saying that Oscar is not precisely the same boat as he is, but that's the main difference.
All right. And that, of course, is Tian Hubert, our legal expert here at the Oscar Pistorius, closing arguments for the pre-sentencing proceedings. As you know, the Paralympian will know his fate on Tuesday. It is then that South Africa and the world at large will know whether the Paralympian will be subjected to correctional supervision or whether the state will get what they have called for, a minimum of 10 years in jail for the Paralympian.